Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy NFP Day. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Hey, Will, let's hope we get some decent price action today. Yeah, this week's been trash. Man, this week's been bad. Hey, good morning, Max, Chris, Diego. Good morning, Greasy, Will, David. Let's see here. Let's jump into my analysis here. 1 second. I got to do something here. Got to check something. Okay. All right. Let's hop into it. So it's Friday. So let's look at what the week has done. Still in this little bit of a mess here. So we had our open down here. We made a little bit of a low. We've expanded up, and now we've pulled back. So, you know, the makeup of a candle, right? It would be open, low, high, and a close. But I'm not sure that we're just going to stay down here in this area. We'll see what happens. But there's not too much going on the weekly here. Then when I go to the daily chart, kind of the same thing. Not too much going on in the daily chart. We're still in this same kind of area. We have this pullback. We've expanded up, taken this swing high here. And then, you know, another pullback down here. And right now, we just have our range from yesterday here that we're still inside. We're pretty much at the mid point of that range there. We haven't really expanded out anywhere yet. So we'll see where we want to go today. On the 4-hour chart, I mean, we're in this, it shows on the 4-hour, we're in this kind of a zone here as well. Well, we do have this daily fair value gap up here that we still haven't pulled back up into, and we do have relative equal highs on the 4-hour, so maybe we head up that way. But looking in a little deeper here, we have this 4-hour fair value gap. So I have this one here, and then there's also an inversion right here. So I'm kind of watching to see, because we pulled up, took that high, right? And then we came down, creating an inversion and a fair value gap right there. And then we pulled into that fair value gap, came down. Now with NFP, we shot back up into it again, and we've pulled back. So let's see what we do there. If we can get past that or not. Not sure, so we'll see. And then go to the 1-hour. If you're looking at this area right here, is kind of what I'm looking at the moment, right in here. Okay, so what we did is we shot down, and we've kind of worked our way up. Had a little bit of a market structure shift here, taking this high. We did create a fair value gap here, but at the same time, back here we had this fair value gap that we used and went down from. So now that we've hit that area again, we're back into this fair value gap. So we're kind of just bouncing, ping-ponging is like what I like to say, between these two areas. So both of these areas are kind of crucial to me right now. I want to see, and there's also a 15-minute, so you'll see that here when I drop down the 15-minute chart. Right here, this area that we're pretty much in right now, and this area. These two areas are a bit of a crucial area to me. So I want to see, you know, whenever I drop down into my lower time frames, what that looks like. And 15-minute, as y'all know, that's my most important chart. And at the moment, I'm kind of looking at this dealing range right here. That high, that low. So everything in between there is what I'm looking at. And immediately what stands out to me is this area of smoothness right in here. And that just so happens to be previous day high, which is yesterday's high. And we have some relative equal highs in there, but this is just the area of smoothness and some buy side liquidity for me there. The market's now open, so I want to see what happens here. But if you're looking at the 15-minute chart, we are it is looking like we did kind of make a run on liquidity here. Any liquidity that was in this area. And then we are, dropping. We'll see if we have a little 15-minute fair value gap. We'll see what happens. I don't have, at least in this range, I don't have some extreme sell side liquidity I'm looking at. But underneath all this right here is sell side liquidity. So we could be looking to sweep that, clear that out, and then maybe make our way up. But, we'll see. There's still a lot below us as well. I still have this sell side liquidity down here. I have some opening range gaps. I have that daily volume imbalance way down here. I don't know that obviously today we might not. I don't expect huge runs, especially like you got to look at what's been happening for over the course of the week. Right now, I pretty much have us like a 200 on average. It's like been between like a 200, 250 point range up or down. It hasn't been one of them weeks where you're getting 600 point swings. So we'll see. We are pushing down. We'll see if this is manipulation down. But we'll see. Going to the 5 minute. Again, I just don't have anything that I'm really, really targeting below. I have targets, but I don't have anything that I'm like, yeah, we got to go to right this second. Let me go to the 1 minute here and check the opening range gap for today. We had one and we immediately traded right down through it. So nothing worth marking. And we do have big 10 a.m. news. Consumer sentiment, I believe, is what I saw. So we can't forget that. Good morning, Peter, Tony, Enrico. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all are doing well today. All right, so we can see, we're trading straight through that area that I was wanting to see how price is going to react there. We do have, like I say, there is reason to come down. But and because we broke that area, I think from here we do go down further. Let's see what this looks like here. I'm waiting today because, it is. I'm not looking to short this. I just want to see what price does because, it is NFP day. We do have 10 a.m. news. It could very well open and manipulate fairly early. So I don't want to get caught in thinking this is going to use this right away and keep running down. It could. It very well could. But I don't want to take that trade. It's not a high probability one for me right now. We do have that sell side liquidity way down there at 450 that I've been eyeing for a while. We've traded straight through this 15-minute fair value gap, even though it's not an inversion and 1 hour, so I'm going to get rid of them so I can clean my chart up a little bit. That's usually what I like to do. I like to see how it reacts, like when it hits it. If it trades all the way through it, I can get rid of it. Doesn't mean it's not going to hold on the 15-minute chart and push price up, but it's less less important to me. How's everybody's week been? Have y'all had a good week? thanks to NFP, I got 7 more accounts evals passed, so I'll be able to add to my PA count. That'll be 18 for the total. It should have been 12. But, you know, when you go heavy and you're trying to catch a move, like after NFP came out and it went up, I was trying to catch that momentum with my evals. And, you know, 5 got hit with that drawdown with a little bit of fluctuation. But 7 made it. So that's cool. That's good. I'll be having those ready to go Monday. With this PA fee extended. That sale has been extended, but then also 80% off right now. Oh, I need to actually add that to my little promo thing here. Let me do that real quick while I'm waiting on the market. You see, and this is exactly why I didn't want to short just yet. Okay, there we go. Exactly why I didn't want to short yet. That doesn't mean I want to short at all. I actually like this buy side liquidity up here a little better right now because I didn't have anything anything I really, like I said, I felt we needed and had to go to the short side. I do like the buy side though up there. So we're going to get this inversion. And it looks like we're going to get this fair value gap right there. We did have a new day opening gap right here. I think I forgot to mention. New day opening gap right here. Let's see if we get back above that. And I'm still neutral, pretty neutral on my overall bias. Maybe slightly bullish, but we'll see. Oh, I just read, Will, about you mentioning 10 a.m. news. Yeah. 10 a.m. news. Let's not forget. We are coming up to a 15-minute fair value gap up here that has not been touched. I don't know that we hold it, though. Right here. I just marked it. Just traded right up to it. Man, that's the thing with NFP day, too. Like, I've noticed a lot of times that it just doesn't always pull back. Like, you know, I'm waiting for I like it to pull back to my fair value gaps for entries. There's a lot of times on NFP day and CPI day as well that it'll do this and it just won't pull back into that gap and it'll just run to liquidity where I'm seeing liquidity. Yeah, basically, Max. All right, I have this fair value gap right here. And that's the scary part on these days, right? Like, we have this fair value gap right here. And this 15-minute one, I have that buy-side liquidity up there. But does it pull? And that's why I love this 15-second confirmation. I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. But when it pulls back into this one, how do you know it's not going to pull back to this lower one or this lower one? Well, you can wait and do nothing, or you can use the 15-second confirmation and see if, you know, you get an entry and then be sure to move your stop pretty quick, or, you know, do nothing. I think I said that one already. We have a little bit of a suspension block here. Maybe. All right, let's go to the 15-second chart and see what happens here. We didn't close the opening range gap either. Ooh, voice cracked. We almost did. Again, it's 10 a.m. news as well. And then I like to always anticipate what would my stop look like. So like if price stopped pulling back here and came up to an entry area, 764, my stop would be around 36. So that's a manageable stop. All right, let's see. I'm going long. My stop at this little swing low at about 735.25. I'm aiming for let's see. I'm aiming for this opening range gap, this high up here at about 826. We do have this fair value gap in this 15-minute one, but I think I like this buy side liquidity. So we'll see. It might oscillate a little bit because of those areas. It could run down further, but if we can get up a little higher, then I'll move my... this doesn't look good. I was going to say, if we can get up a little bit higher up here, then I'll move my stop to break even pretty quick, since we do have reason below to come down. I think we're pretty solid, though. We'll see. We shall see. Got about a 30-point stop, so if I lose this, this will be the only trade I can take. Did all my accounts get filled? Yes, they did. Good. If we struggle too much at this 15-minute gap, then I got to probably get out of it. It's 15-minute fair value gap. But we already traded through it. That's why I wasn't too worried about it. We already traded completely through it. It's really struggling here, though. I may be ready to move sooner than later if we keep struggling there. Yeah, that was that last punch that I think it's not gonna. I think it's gonna fail. Let's see. I don't like that last touch of it. Yeah. Let's see what happens. I don't like that last touch, that 15-minute gap. It's just moving so fast. I wanted to move my stop, but it's just moving too fast right now. Like I was up like 30 ticks, and I wanted to move my stop, but with this oscillating, it's just moving too fast. If it can keep accumulating in the upper half of this fair value gap, it'll be fine. Nah, this thing's coming down. But if it could stay, nope, man. Nope, didn't work out. That 15-minute fair value gap right there got me. Let's see if, yeah. Now it's going to go. Good morning, good morning. Yep, looks like this is going to be a loss, or a losing day, or it is. That wick down took me out. It's going to go. It's accumulating up here, but man, that last little wick right there got me. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to oscillate and wait until that news now. The wicks, man. The wicks do the damage. Been a rough week. Rough start to the new year. That's for sure. The bodies tell the story and the wicks do the damage. Where the bodies are closing looks great, but the wicks, man, they're just like gonna get you. Bodies are still closing above this new week opening gap right here in that upper half. So it's doing what I would like to see it doing. Just took me out. And see, that's what I was trying to, I wanted to, as it kept hitting, when it hit the 15-minute gap here, see, I was in at 766.75. But there just wasn't a lot of room. It was about like 8 points between my entry and where it kept hitting. And every time I wanted to move my stop, it was just like shooting back down. I'm like, man, I can't squeeze my stop in there to move to break even yet. So it is what it is. But now, I mean, look, it's not. It might come down further. Didn't hold up. It may come back down to this lower area here. We'll see. About to hit 9:50, and then you got, like I said, that 10 a.m. news. So it very well could stay in this range until 10. But just got to be patient now. I wouldn't be trying to long out of this fair value gap anymore, though. Like, even if I was taking another trade. Yeah, that was about a 30-point loss. I can't afford another trade, unfortunately. But, you know, that's how you don't blow accounts. There you go. Now it reached down lower. And those lower ones, let's see if it gets past them. If it gets past them, then, hey, we're going down. Going down, down. Whew, yeah, look at that. This is what you call displacement. Hopefully next week's going to be a better week in the market. We know that. We know the time will come, though. There are times you can't catch a win. The market looks ugly. There's times where it's like you can't do no wrong. And like I said yesterday, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, I mean, as long as you can sustain those bad ones, then you can prosper in those good ones. That's where you make your money. 950 now. Curious to see how we're gonna if we're gonna use this to go short or not. Because we did create an inversion here, but we've traded straight through it. Have a bit of a failure swing going on right here. So this may get inverted. This may turn into a bullish order block. And we might run all the way up there where I wanted to go without me. It's a lot of maybes, though. Because it could just keep displacing lower from here, or it could stay in this area until 10 a.m. So you need to get better at your top-down analysis. Yeah, and you know, the thing is this week really it's been fairly neutral with those higher time frames. At least in my opinion. So I've had to rely more so on my lower time frames, the 15-minute, but it's just been pretty ugly. It's been, and every day, if you notice this week, around the New York Open, 9:30 open, we've hovered around this 8:30 and midnight opening price, and stayed around it for a lot of the morning. So that tells you a lot there that it's market's been a bit indecisive, especially if you look at the daily chart. You know, like I say, you have this high and it was making its way down, came back up, and now it's just like you see it consolidating here, right? So eventually it's gotta either do this or do this. Like, you know, it's got to come out of it somewhere. But in the meantime, this area has been not a lot going on there. Like, it's not really giving a lot. So that's why you have to look at those lower time frames if you're day trading, which I know the majority of us here are. And, you know, like for myself, I only trade a certain small window in the morning. So that's where I really have to rely on that 15-minute and lower time frame. At this point, it's 9:50, about to be 9:54. So I'm not expecting much before 10 a.m. Fairly confident we're going to go up here to this 844, 850 area. See how that became an inversion now? That's what I mean. We'll see if we get another Bissy in here. Man, I've had a bad week. All right, we did get this busy. It's less than 5 minutes from news now, so I would not be looking to enter in just yet. But and when you see price continuously creating fair value gaps, inverting them, creating them, inverting them, reclaiming them like over and over, it's not a market I want to be a part of. Not at the moment. See, it's just trading through everything. It's definitely waiting for that news. Big news. I'm going to hang around here till a little after the news just to see what happens. And then call it a week. Man, get out of this week. Because you got to think, I mean, there's some people right now that are longing and shorting all of this stuff going on. And, like, you can't do that. You're going to blow an account or all your accounts. If you're just, that's why I've always said, if you're trading ICT concepts, you can't just use any random fair value gap. Like, you can't just long and short every BISI and SIBI that you see, because you're going to get wrecked on days like this. Some days, I mean, you're going to have wins because, you know, of how good it is. You're going to have some wins. If you manage your risk, manage your trades, you're going to get some wins, some, 10, 15, 20-point wins. But there's going to be days that you're just going to get crushed like today if you just keep trying to short them and long them. You have a buy entry for gold GC. Nice. I haven't looked at a gold chart. Although, of course, I'm always a believer in holding gold and silver. Physical gold and silver. Especially with what's going on right now, it's like even more so. Get them safety deposit boxes going. All right, just over a minute to go, 9:58. Man, we need to get a streak. We need to get a good win run going. Get these account balances up. Especially with starting my new PAs on Monday. I need to get them off to the right start. My current PAs are not on the right start. Got a little bit of a hole to dig out of for sure. But hey, it happens. It's always, here we go in 20 seconds. It's always the hardest part with any funded account. Doesn't matter what company you're with. It's the beginning that's the hardest. And that's when you have to have the most patience. Once you get over that hump and get past the safety net, man, it's just smooth sailing from there. As long as you manage your risk and don't overtrade, you're good. Here we go. News is out. That always happens when I'm like, this is going to be pretty big news. The time comes and nothing happens. Every time I say that, I just need to not say it. I just need to say, news at 10. We'll see what happens. And then it'll probably blast off. But actually what's really going on right now is the combination with NFP and this consumer sentiment. I notice a lot of times that it happens to where when you have two big reports like that, it takes a second. It takes a little bit for the reaction of like, all right, how do we digest this? How do we interpret this? How do the two, affect each other? And then you'll see like a little delayed reaction, and then it'll go a direction. I've noticed that a lot. Let's see. Come on, NQ, wake up. Wakey, wakey. Is there anything else doing anything, or is all the markets just like stale? The NQ's up 0.1% on the day. No, everything is silver's up 5%. Gold is up less than 1%. Other than that, that's it. Copper's up almost 2%. Yeah, it's just silver, the usual, the usual suspect currently. Crude, yeah. What did I see on crude? Oh yeah, I missed crude. Crude is up, yeah, about 2.3, heading up to 2.5%. Yeah. All right, NQ, are you going to go now? Are you going to go? Or not? Man, I'm tired today. It is Friday. Do y'all have some weekend plans? Anybody have some weekend plans? I have my son's basketball tournament tomorrow, late tonight. I think we have a bit of a cold front coming this weekend. I wanted to get out on the jet skis this weekend, but might be a little too cold. Yeah, we got a high of, for us, 59 and 60 this weekend, so it always happens that way. We don't get cold here that very often. And when I want to get on the water, I got something going on that weekend. And when I don't have anything going on, a cold front finally comes through. High of 52 New York. Nice. I might. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You have playoffs. NFL playoffs. Is your team, if you're a football fan, is your team in the playoffs? Be some interesting games this weekend. Yep. Who's your team, Benton? Oh, Max, you were in the ice storm in 01? Yeah, that wasn't fun. Well, it was fun last year when we had our snowstorm in Houston. That was cool. That was really cool. Man, we had a big snow. Hey, Benton, that's my team. I'm a Steelers fan. The AFC's wide open in my opinion. But yeah, it's fun because, you know, I live in the Houston area, so obviously everybody I know, most people are Texan fans. I'm definitely not a Texan fan. So we get to play the Texans this weekend. Monday night. We play Monday night actually. And that's great because we don't lose on Monday night. We haven't lost our last 22 Monday night games for the Steelers. We've won. So we'll see. Let's keep that going. But yeah, we're a hit or miss. At least we have DK back after he was an idiot. Cardinals or San Francisco? Yeah, Niners. Niners are interesting too. All right, what are we going to do here? Are we going to display slower and go? Or what are we doing? What are we doing, NQ? Like I say, there is reason to go lower. It's just, you know, there's liquidity under all these lows all the way down to previous day low. We do have the opening range gap that we never filled, and we still have that sell side liquidity that I really like at 450. Just don't know that, you know, if we're going to get down through all that. That's quite a bit. Or if we're engineering this buy side up here and we're just going to manipulate down and go up. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to watch this here. We have Asia's session low also down there. I do have a little bit of room, but if I can get an entry that requires like a 10-point stop or 15, then I could take it. But today's, I don't know if I get an entry with that small of a stop. Because eventually we do need to come back down. I just don't know when. See, and here we go again. This is what I was talking about like earlier. On NFP day and CPI day, there's a lot of times the move starts and it doesn't pull back to the fair value gaps and it just runs. And then you get caught trying to chase. And then you get wrecked. All right, now we took that Asian low back into this opening range gap from 1.5. New week opening gap. Let me throw the midpoint of this one on real quick to see. Look at that. That's why I wanted to see that, because it didn't stop randomly. It looked like it was about the middle of that new week opening gap, and of course it tagged it perfectly. At this point, there is a decent probability of it going down to previous day low. This fair value gap up here. See, and anytime I have a fair value gap like this, runs down, leaves another one lower, I'm always cautious. That's why this trade that I took earlier was a little bit hesitant on it, and I mentioned I wanted to move to break even fairly quick because we had these down below here. I just didn't really get the opportunity to move to break even quick. I could have probably, but I felt like with that oscillation, that how it was moving so fast up and down, I knew if I moved it to break even at that moment, I was definitely going to get tagged, which obviously in hindsight, that would have been better to get tagged at break even and just get out. But it was just every time it touched, it just dropped right back down very quickly, and I just couldn't get it to break even. But that's why I mentioned that, because we had all that below. So like this one here, that's why I really wouldn't consider taking it, because we took a liquidity level down here. We hit the midpoint of this new week opening gap. And we have this SIBI right above it that we never touched. Because see, now you got to watch out for this is an inversion. And then we got a BISI here. All right, a BISI right there. And actually, it's going to be a suspension block as well, because we have a volume imbalance there and a volume imbalance there. So you got to include those. All right, so now you can say, well, I might go short here. Well, but now you have this with this inversion. And I like this buy side liquidity more up here. Now we have engineered a lot of buy side internal range liquidity in here, right? So maybe that's exactly what it needed to get up here to where I was trying to go. It needed to engineer some buy side liquidity, then run some manipulation down to the sell side liquidity. All right, there's some sell side liquidity here. And now it could work its way up, potentially. But who knows? It could just slam down 100 points right now. Giants. Yeah, but y'all have a pretty good... I think y'all have a pretty solid future coming up. We'll see who y'all get for a coach, too. Diego, you like soccer? Nice. Well, I like it too. It's just hard for me to keep up with it. How close we got to that fair value gap. It probably hit on MNQ. I wouldn't doubt it. This low is 722. This low is 722.75. 3 points away. I bet on MNQ it hit that fair value gap. See what I mean? Reversed, inversions, not pulling back into any of the fair value gaps. This thing's going to go. Looks about the same as NQ. Yeah, I know there's a lot of times like a 2 to 3 tick difference. And sometimes when I see NQ get a couple ticks away from a fair value gap and don't touch, a lot of times MNQ does. But I think this thing's going to go to my target without me. Hopefully some of y'all can get a win. Man, look at the 15-minute chart. Look at those wicks. Holy moly. Look at these wicks. Dang. Ugly. Yeah, Benton. The first couple weeks of December were really good for me, and I knew based on my history I could not trade the last 2 weeks of December. And so I didn't, but I did watch, and yeah. And then now to start off the year, I've just been watching, except for this week. Obviously, I traded, but I'm just like, eh. So, like I said, right now is pure survival mode. Like, all we're trying to do is survive. Survive and wait for the market to get better. And yeah, I'll probably just give it a few more minutes here and hop off and just call it a day, call it a week. And yeah. That'll be a wrap. A lot of geopolitical news as well, you know. A lot of economic news, geopolitical news, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. This is going to be an interesting year for sure. I have a lot of opinions on what I think is going to happen throughout the year because I've always been a big studier and I guess analyst of macroeconomics, and it's going to be interesting for sure. I think a lot of people are going to feel the pain this year, unfortunately. That's another reason why, like I was saying the other day, I really believe a lot of people could do well with trading and it could help them change their life. That's why I do a lot of what I do, is because I know a lot of people need a secondary source of income. So $10.20. What you gonna do? $10.21. Yeah. Regardless, though, I'm done. Like, I don't think I'll get an entry that I can take with, risking around 10 points. And even then, the way the market is right now in price action, I really don't want to. honestly. So, unfortunately, been a bad week. This thing's going to just slowly grind its way up to that buy side liquidity. 10:21. Nothing happened. Yeah, y'all, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. Lost 30, almost 31 points. And I don't like it. It may get up there, but man, it's not worth any risk for me. So, we'll be back next week. Let's see. What do we have real quick for news-wise next week? Next week. All right. Nothing really Monday. Let's bring this over here. Look at this little image. Find the right prop firm. Oh, we have CPI Tuesday. Crap. All right. Well, I guess I won't be trading Monday. I will not be trading Monday, y'all. So I'll see y'all Tuesday after CPI comes out. So, oh, look, then we have FOMC members speaking at 10 a.m. Oof. That should be all right, but I'll be here Tuesday. Monday, I'm not trading. Definitely not trading because that's the day before CPI. It looks like we have retail sales, PPI. October data is coming out. September data. Oh, next week might be a little interesting. Some more Fed members speaking. Thursday, unemployment. We have a lot of old data coming out next week. From during the government shutdown. Not sure what to make of that yet. Guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to hop off here. I hope y'all have a great, great weekend, and I will see y'all on Tuesday. If you're going to be trading the rest of the day, as always, trade well and take care.